And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday, and this is my review for episode 4 of The Wheel of Time. I've been given very specific instructions of what I can and talk about and what I cannot talk about. So don't worry, non-spoilers, but some minor spoilers about what's going on in episode 4, but no plot points that's going to make it mess up for you. So if you want to go in completely fresh, then don't watch this, but for the most part, if you want to kind of get the gist of where this series is headed, maybe you weren't quite sold on the first 3 episodes, and you want to hear what's going to go on in episode 4, then this is your place. I'm very excited to talk about this episode. So let's jump in. By the end of the first 3 episodes, our group was basically split up into different journeys. They're all heading east. Perrin and Egwene are with the caravan group. They are learning the way of the leaf, about how this group is against violence, all about their lifestyle and what goes on with that. And they need to deal with what has happened in the past. But really, this episode doesn't really deal with much of what's going on with them. Mat, Rand and the Glenmen stop at a barn for a much needed rest. And there is a moment in there where they have a kind of oh shit moment, which I wasn't expecting. The majority of this episode lies with Nynaeve, Lan and Moraine. Moraine's obviously been injured, so they need to get that sorted out, and so we get to see more of what the Aes Sedai do, who they are, about them. The majority of this episode's all about the Warders, the Aes Sedai, their history, what makes them tick, humanizing them somewhat. And then we have the last 20 minutes of this episode that goes big. Without doing spoilers, I was very entertained with how they were giving us a little bit of story, letting us know what's happening with those other characters along the way, and then really kind of getting to the meat of the arc, talking to us about the fifth. If you remember, one of the episodes, a number of the times, we got to know a little bit about Logain. Also, one of the lines in, I think, episode 3 was there is a fifth rather than a fourth, and that is mentioned again in this episode, and so we get to know more about Logain, who we presume is the fifth. And so now we're having a lot of this episode trying to deal with what his power is, how strong he is, and the Aes Sedai trying to kind of wrestle with their own laws, because they want to do something that protects them, but they also want to abide, well, they kind of have to abide by their own laws. There's inner turmoil. Each Aes Sedai is different as you get to start figuring out with the colors of their cloaks and their warders. You start understanding their history, and I thought that was a beautiful moment in the episodes, really kind of showing us their humanity, making them more than just warriors or people with powers or you're on a mission, giving them that much needed emotionality that we didn't quite get in those first 3 episodes. I'm under the impression that this series should have all come out together. It's one of those series, sometimes you get episodic seasons of TV that you can watch by episode. I think at least the 4 episodes should have come out, because I think this is kind of where the series settles into what it's trying to do from their adaptation from the books. This episode kind of gives you an idea of what they're going to do with the rest of the episodes, but also feels like it's found its footing. The action was fantastic, big. I love the use of magic, how they show that, how they combine that. I presume it is descripted in the book differently, or the books differently, but I do love how they show that visually. It's visually arresting and entertaining to an adventure height, where you kind of have your mouth open and going, oh, that's very cool. I like how they're showing that the movements, all of it all feels very magical, which is obviously great. The score again is fantastic in the last 20 minutes throughout the episode, but in the last 20 minutes particularly, when the poop hits the fan, you're understanding that it's going to build that crescendo, going to show off what they can do, which I really feel like they do. There's an emotional hit as well. There's a couple of beats that I wasn't expecting, which lends itself into how you write an individual episode that is its own episode, but also feeding into parts of the story that is all built together as one. Really looking forward to the next couple of episodes. I'm going to go and watch them now, and I'll have reviews out early. I think I'm going to drop them each Thursday, so look out for those. Do let me know your thoughts. Are you excited to see what has happened, or are you particularly upset with what they've done with the first 3? Because I know the response has been mixed from those that have read the books. Some have gone, yeah, I can understand it, I know you have to do your own thing, and some have said, those are not my characters, they're completely different in this. I've heard some people saying you've chosen the worst threads and put them on the screen and left out the best. I don't know if that's true. I haven't read the books, but I am enjoying this series so far, and particularly love this episode because of what they do. The tempo of it, the building of the episode, I think is really well done. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long Tuesday.